Now, fans that either sold their tickets or whatever, all of a sudden an emphasis is starting to get thrown onto the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, up, and up.
The economy might need a timeout because ticket prices are going through the roof. Like Caitlin Clark just hit a step back 3 from outer space. TV ratings are exploding. Fans are practically offering their life savings just to sit courtside. What kind of madness is this? Is she LeBron, Steph, and Taylor Swift all rolled into one? This frenzy, all of it, sparked by Caitlin Clark's return from injury.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs.
Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking ankles. She's breaking bank accounts, media agendas, and fragile egos along the way. The WNBA doesn't even realize it's getting posterized in real time. Let's keep it real. There's a clear line before Caitlin Clark and after Caitlin Clark. Before, tickets were collecting dust. After, they're flying off the charts and punching holes in your savings like she's driving straight into the luxury tax lane.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, you know, because she's really talented, especially for being Falangi, you know? She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Like, proven fact is, like, they had a game on June 7th scheduled, you know, it was going to be Angel Reese's team, which plays for Chicago, and then for Caitlin Clark's team. They were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
But here's where it really gets wild. Some WNBA vets are short-circuiting like they missed the memo. More fans means more money. Oh, so maybe relax a little? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon isn't just about her dropping 30. It's bigger than the box score. It's in the air, literally. Even when she's not on the court, ratings explode, merch flies off shelves, and the energy? Off the charts. Security guards are sweating like she's Taylor Swift pulling up to an NFL sideline.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs. You can argue all you want if she's the best player in the league, but you absolutely cannot argue if she's the most important, because she is. She is more valuable than all the other players combined, and that is just a fact.
And here's the wild part. Some WNBA players would probably rather guard a breakaway barefoot than give Caitlin Clark her props. You'd think the league would be throwing a parade for the one player dragging them into the national spotlight like she's on a mission from ESPN, but nope. Some vets are acting like Caitlin didn't just join the league. She hijacked their endorsements and ran off with their lunch.
NBA is now suffering a major injury as Caitlin Clark is going to be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury. And the reason we're bringing this up specifically is the Clarkonomics effect to this. Obviously, players miss time all the time, but the Sky and the Fever were supposed to play in Chicago in about a week on June 7th. The opening ticket price was $86 because you have the Angel Reese vs. Caitlin Clark showdown that is now box office. Yeah, those tickets are now down to $25. Down to $25 after the injury announcement. And it's supposed to take place in the Bulls Arena, the United Center, as opposed to the normal Wintrust Arena. That's about a 12,000 seat difference, give or take. So
here's the craziest part. Even when Caitlin Clark doesn't suit up, her presence still packs the house. The arena's full, like she might just walk out at halftime and drop a logo 3 for fun. Who else gets that kind of pull? Definitely not the ones tossing shade on Instagram about respecting the vets. Respect? Sure. But we also respect the 2.5 million people tuning in to watch Clark get double teamed before she crosses half court. Some players are missing the point. Clark isn't a threat, she's a lift. She's the rising tide raising all boats. But instead of riding the wave, a few seem more focused on trying to sink the ship. On the surface, it's all smiles and welcome to the league. But underneath, it's cold stares, hard fouls, and subtle jabs about rookies needing to prove themselves. Prove herself? She already has. Clark's the reason your team's game is suddenly on national TV for the first time in over a decade. The jealousy's louder than a game winner in overtime. And the wildest twist, Caitlyn's not out here acting like a diva. She's not asking for special treatment. She's just casually draining logo range shots like her shooting hand has GPS. Meanwhile, some players are more concerned with protecting their turf than embracing the new era.
Support system, that shouldn't change. I think, Caitlyn knows that she has the ears and eyes of the locker room and the support that she has behind, whether it's us or anybody else. I would like to think that she knows it's there and to really take her time and make sure that she's, well enough to be who she needs to be for us, because I want the 100% Caitlyn, so I'll take it.
And then there's the media frenzy. The moment Caitlyn Clark touches the ball, it's like a live broadcast crossed with a wildlife documentary. Analysts are breaking down her every move. Cameras zoom in from every angle, like they've got drones tracking her every step. It's ESPN meets Discovery Channel, featuring the elusive Clark in her natural habitat. Social media explodes. Engagement goes through the roof. Suddenly, people who couldn't spell zone defense are arguing about it on TikTok. You'd think the league would be throwing a party over the attention, but instead, some players are in the background whispering, "She hasn't earned it yet." Really? Clark's done more in a quarter than some franchises have done in a decade. And here's where it gets wild. Caitlyn doesn't even have to play. Her name alone has scalpers charging Coachella prices for seats. Fans show up hoping she might just jog out of the tunnel and wave. Meanwhile, certain teams haven't generated this kind of excitement since flip phones were still a thing. Clark misses a game, and it's still more talked about than the starting five on the home team. Yet somehow the backlash keeps rolling in. Cryptic tweets, salty interviews, locker room jabs. Like Clark invented popularity. She's just a rookie, right? Sure, but she's also a rookie pulling in more fans than some playoff teams could dream of.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Caitlyn Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
The mental gymnastics going on right now are unreal. Yes, the WNBA's always had stars. No one's denying that. Diana Taurasi could probably elbow a concrete wall and make it say sorry, but Caitlyn Clark brings something entirely different. It's not just basketball skills, it's cultural momentum, the kind you only see once in a generation. Think Serena, think Tiger, that rare spark you can't teach, can't coach, and definitely can't replicate. And look, no one's pretending she's flawless. Clark gets blocked, turns it over, takes bad shots. But here's the difference. Even her mistakes go viral. She takes a charge and Twitter melts down. She gets bumped and it's a full-blown debate on sports radio. She so much as adjusts her headband and 5 blogs are spinning injury rumors. That's influence. And not because she demanded it, because she earned it. She didn't just show up, she lit a fuse. And if the league was thinking long-term, they'd be harnessing that fire instead of trying to smother it with cold interviews and cheap fouls. But instead, we've got vets acting like hazing a rookie is part of the job. This isn't Greek life, it's a professional league. And right now, Caitlyn Clark is the best marketing campaign the WNBA's ever seen.
To describe Caitlyn Clark.
Amazing. A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty, so sometimes she's look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass. She can shoot. Man, she is the complete.
And that's where the real plot twist comes in, because even fans who barely follow the WNBA are noticing something's off. Is this really how we treat the player who's single-handedly bringing millions of eyes to the league? Apparently so, especially if you're still bitter about being passed over for a Nike deal. The irony, this should have been the easiest slam dunk in league history. Take the spotlight, share it, boost every player's profile, push more jerseys, lock down bigger TV contracts, and elevate the game. Simple. But instead, too many players are acting like Caitlin Clark is an intruder, not an opportunity. Every time she hits the court, or doesn't, the WNBA makes headlines. But some players are more focused on guarding their egos than building their legacies. And that's a shame, because this moment, it could have been the start of a golden era if people weren't so busy throwing shade instead of lobs. Yes, Caitlin's still a rookie, but she already owns the ball, the spotlight, and the attention of every media outlet and sponsor in the country. She's got brands circling her like she's the #1 pick in a billion-dollar draft. And whether she's raining logo threes or chilling on the bench, sipping Gatorade, the Caitlin Clark effect is very real. The league has two choices: run with it or get left behind in transition.
Crazy was this season versus the seasons past.
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft on a Thursday afternoon, from that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season tickets. But even something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance requests went up 150% this season. So you talk about the Fever, the team, which is what we've been working on,
Let's be real. When the crowd erupts louder for warm-ups than for the actual tip-off, you're not just at a basketball game. You're witnessing a full-on cultural shift. Caitlin Clark didn't break the WNBA. She just showed everyone how much more it could be. And that's apparently a hard reality for some folks who thought the only person capable of moving the needle was their own agent. And just when you think the delusion couldn't go any further, enter Cathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, strutting around like she personally fast-tracked the league into pop culture dominance. She's out here pitching PowerPoints like, "Here's how I revolutionized the WNBA," as if Caitlin Clark is just some ball girl organizing towels on the sideline. Let's get something straight. Cathy Engelbert didn't torch South Carolina for 40 in the Final Four. She didn't shatter viewership records, ignite a national merch frenzy, or make half the country's casual sports fans suddenly experts in off-ball movement. But now she's walking around like she conjured all this from a vision board and a PR memo, like the Caitlin Clark explosion is just part of her 5-step media strategy. Ma'am, this isn't a boardroom win, it's a cultural earthquake, and you're lucky you're still hanging on while the rim's rattling.
Shame on you. Cathy Engelbert pens this beautiful article written by Cathy, about Cathy, for Cathy, explaining why she is solely responsible for the boom of the WNBA. Folks, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. The commissioner of the WNBA on transferring the league ahead of a breakout season. And what was that plan that Cathy Engelbert put in place? Working in partnership with my new WNBA team members, NBA colleagues, and WNBA owners, we developed a strategy with 3 pillars. The league would think player first.
If you really want to put this theory to the test, just imagine the league without Caitlin Clark. Suddenly, that once thunderous crowd sounds more like a quiet high school reunion. Everyone's there, but no one's really talking. ESPN coverage, back to being buried beneath cornhole tournaments and reruns of 2012 bowling highlights. Ratings? Let's just say they'd be limboing under basement level numbers. But Cathy, she's on a media tour, treating every microphone like it's her moment to drop buzzwords like strategic growth initiatives. Like she's unveiling the next big thing, WNBA iPhone edition. Yeah, sure, Cathy. Kathy, because clearly the whole country tuned in out of nowhere to watch Indiana Fever games thanks to your Q2 marketing plan. Nothing screams mainstream like suddenly caring about teams that, just 2 seasons ago, couldn't even pack the second row at a bake sale. She's acting like Caitlyn is just a backup dancer in the Kathy Saves the WNBA show, but we all know the whole production would still be rehearsing in some YMCA gym if Clark hadn't walked in with her magnetic presence and flipped the script, turning the league into a national obsession. Instead of unveiling statues, Kathy's delivering speeches about all the hard work behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, the only thing lurking there is a reality check ready to tackle you the minute Caitlyn sits out for a week.
Yes, man, you guys heard me correctly. None other than Kathy Engelbert is singing a different tune this season about Caitlyn Clark. Now, we know last year she was talking about all of the other rookies being included in this, making a difference, being able to help contribute to the Big Bang of the WNBA. This time around, she's owing it all to Caitlyn Clark. Me personally, I told y'all this at the beginning of the month. The chickens was coming home to roost for the WNBA, because I'm telling you right now, there has been a lot of spooky things going on and people is tired of it.
Let's be honest, if Clark decided to hang it up tomorrow, the league would slide backwards faster than someone slipping on a buttered floor. The reality is, one player pulled this entire organization into the spotlight, and now Kathy's trying to spin it like it's some big team effort. But this isn't Kathy's master plan, it's Caitlyn's highlight reel, and the league is just lucky enough to be riding shotgun. If the WNBA had any sense, they'd be bubble wrapping Caitlyn Clark between games and hiring Secret Service to protect her like she's holding the nuclear launch codes. Forget load management. This is legacy management. She's not just a rookie, she's the main event, the halftime show, and the whole ad campaign all in one. And yet every game she's getting hammered like she showed up at a clearance sale with a cart full of discounts. She's drawing more fouls than a chicken nugget in a vegan cafe, while the refs just stand there like, play on, play on. What are we, in Mad Max Fury Court?
Kathy Engelbert, in her naivete or in her delusion, she takes credit for it. Instead of saying it's because of Caitlyn Clark, instead of saying it's because of the person from Iowa, instead of saying it was because of her, Kathy says, oh, it's all me. My strategy, my plan, my 3 pillars. In this entire article, Kathy Engelbert mentions Caitlyn Clark's name 2, maybe 3 times. Angel Reese's name once. Cameron Briggs' name once. Let's get right into it, because this article, from start to finish, is disgusting.
Here's the idea, protect the asset. Caitlyn Clark isn't just out here playing basketball. She's leading an economic comeback. She's the reason ticket resale apps look like they're hawking Beyonce concert passes. She's the reason the media finally treats the WNBA like a major league sport, not some side hustle stuck between horse racing and cornhole. You'd expect the league to be on high alert, making sure their golden star isn't showing up to press conferences wrapped in ice packs and pain, but instead it feels like they're running a test, seeing just how much punishment she can take before turning into a walking insurance claim. This is the LeBron moment, the Serena moment, the Steph Curry moment, and rather than crafting the Caitlyn Clark cinematic universe, they're letting her get knocked around like she accidentally joined an NFL scrimmage.
My sports supporters, well, I think this pretty much closes the book on its Me Too. They're tuning in for Me Too. Oh, the WNBA's not going to like that. Oh, those Angel Reese trolls online that are trying to come for me and other YouTube channels, y'all aren't going to like this. Good. Too bad. I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlyn Clark is driving this whole ship, this whole bus. She's driving it, everybody else get in the back.
Meanwhile, the very players who should be tipping their hats to her for the pay raises she's helped bring are throwing elbows like it's a throwback to the '92 Detroit Pistons. Caitlyn doesn't need a reality check. She needs a security team and a highlight reel that plays before every game with a big do not touch warning flashing on the screen. Let's be honest, without her, this season would feel as exciting as a lukewarm decaf, so give her the credit she deserves. Shower her with praise. Name an award after her. Create her own rulebook. Build a hologram statue right in the middle of the season, whatever it takes. Because Caitlyn Clark didn't just arrive, she dominated. And it's time the WNBA recognizes her for what she truly is. Not just a player, but the reason the spotlight is shining this bright.